Coming across to you, Rana, and you run a kind of an advertising business that has both creative media. You even have a healthcare arm. Uh, what's been the impact specifically on the team to start with in terms of this whole disruption? How have what's been the morale? How do you manage the team morale? We'll get into the business aspects a little later, but specifically, how was this transition in the last 60 days with your team and down to the clients and your other associates?
So I think, because a lot of the conversations have been covered, so I won't get into that bit, but coming from a advertising and a media kind of a world, I think, like I think Ajay mentioned that, it's a very touch feel, know your client, meet your client, interact with people, your partners and vendors. So I think the first few weeks was extremely tough. And I can speak on behalf of most of the media and advertising people. A lot of us found it extremely tough to figure that how do you settle in, how do you interact with your clients, how do you do your meetings, because you are conditioned to work in a certain way and not as systematic, or you don't function that when a client used to call a meeting at 9 a.m. advertising world knows that nobody arrives at 9 a.m. It's always that the traffic is there and something happens. These are old folklore jokes. So suddenly you were asking an advertising and media professional to act very disciplined, act in a very systematic way, start the Zoom call on time, wear the right clothes, wear the right dresses. Suddenly we were losing a lot of the fun out of our business and all. But I think, I think what we decided, and I think, it's a universal line. We said the show must go on. If the show has to go on, and we have to be, and we need to be around, and we need to always be around for our clients. So, and because our business, whether you take health or you take media, you take creative, or you take experiential marketing, you take any of our businesses that we have, everything is linked to some client requirement or a client brief. So we decided that, put that into focus and let's work around it. And naturally, then came the discipline, then came all the meetings, then started coming a lot of interactions. What we figured out, and, I think what has happened, which is what I wanted to say, I think the a lot of clients have become friends. And that's been fantastic. That's been the most amazing learning we've got in the last 2 months. So from pure play partners or pure play interactions and all, I think a lot of clients have just become pure play friends and partners, because a lot of conversations have now gone beyond meetings. And it's become somewhere we've now got used to a certain pattern of working. Are we all enjoying working from home as an industry? I don't think, we are, because we would still love to go out, meet and interact with our clients. When we present ideas, there is a certain drama we do, there is a certain way we work. But I think we've got into a certain habit of ensuring that the work doesn't stop, because there's a lot of demand from a lot of clients. Once the clients settle down, and there are some 4 or 5 of them in this call itself. So while they are my friends, they're also in a way clients to many agencies, many vendors, many partners. Once they also settled down into their lives and they knew what exactly how they wanted to, whether they wanted digital, whether they wanted mediums, whether they wanted something, the advertising industry and the media industry started behaving in the way they wanted themselves to behave. And I think that is, I would give up a massive hat off to the entire industry to adapt to each other beautifully well and understand each other, magnificently. Otherwise, it's always been a very weird way of working, where we always used to say, if Ajay was my client, I would say, Ajay, I don't understand you. I don't get your brief, and, keep dragging that issue. But the conversation was different. If Ajay had a point of view or a conversation, you would immediately jump in and say, let's understand it. This is a challenge, we must solve it. So there's a lot of new ways of working. And I'm glad, that we've gone into a certain format, which is extremely constructive. So very, very constructive. But again, to answer your one bit of the question, while we are still behaving and we are coming on time and we are trying to function very well and in a very disciplined way, I can promise you, if given a chance, we would first remove all that bit and, enjoy life the way we are. We are advertising, creative, media people. We are not supposed to be in such a state we behave the way we've been doing so.
Thanks for being so candid, Rana. I think that's a great point. I mean, there's some part of, the touch and feel that, as humans, we always enjoy, and there's no going away. And I also like the point you made about the fact that this whole, working remotely and working from home, in a sense, have helped us look beyond people from their office personas. right? We all come in a certain manner to the office to represent ourselves to the world. And it's nice to see a person in his home, with a kid running around or with a dog interrupting a call. I think in a sense, it all makes us, just feel there are people behind our employees, our colleagues, our peers. I mean, these are real people. They have real issues. They have parents, they have kids, they have pets, they have cooking to do. And I think at some level, there's a little humanity, element that COVID has, in a sense, brought us all down together.